Hey everybody, it's Steve with Sky 194, and I appreciate you taking the time to visit and check out my video. And we are here at Barcelona in the Porsche 911 GT3R, and just bear with me a little bit. Um, I did a multiplayer on the CP server yesterday. I don't know what day this is going to be uploaded, but anyway, yesterday, and of course there was some heavy hitters in there, and I was not totally satisfied with the setup of the car. I mean, it did okay, but there was just a few things, a few pieces missing out of the puzzle, and also me driving. I think I did okay, but I could have done better. But the main thing is I think the setup, I just missed on a few things, and that's how touchy these setups are, especially with the Porsche. It's just it only takes a few things, and you can lose a few tenths. And so I just went back and made some more adjustments and I think I like it better. And so I did a 30-minute hot stint to see how it did, and I even had the same amount of fuel as I had in the race. So I carried 81 liters just to simulate how the 45-minute race, and I think it did better. And plus, just a couple little teeny adjustments on me driving, and I was just going to go over a few laps, and then I'll go out of this, and also I can show a few laps of the multiplayer last night. But that way, because it was really, to be honest, I mean, for my race, it wasn't really super exciting or anything. So that's why. I mean, I didn't really want to upload the race just because it was. I mean, it was fun. It was a fun time, but it just wasn't a super exciting race. So let's show a few laps, and of course, I'll have the link in the description, and I will go over the setup after I show a couple laps here. Now this is just the second lap, so you can see how much fuel I have. I have 77 liters on there right now. Probably the best I've ever had the Porsche running here. Um, right here, that turn right there is where I kind of made an adjustment. It's always been a problem turn for me, and instead of taking it in second, I'm actually taking it in first, and it just seems to be more consistent, and also the car rotates a little better right there. Instead, in second gear, it just, you got to be just really exact. Otherwise, you lose too much speed, and the car is kind of bogging coming out. It's just, and it just seemed like first, and you don't lose any time. So I just kind of changed the way I drive into that turn. Go in car here for the next lap. That was 144.89. See, first just seems better through there. I can pick up the gas a lot earlier as it's rotating and just accelerate out. It just works better for me. But I mean, you can use second through there. It's just, to me, it's just like I said, I just think I can be a little more consistent with using first gear. And that was a 1:44.50. That was my fast lap of the 30 minutes. I was really happy with that. So let's go to the last lap. And of course, you know, with a Porsche, like I've said before, you know, you got to really adapt and change during the stint, because the car definitely is a lot different from when the tires are new to when the tires are worn, between the balance of the car and the tires being worn. And I don't think, you know, in the race I didn't adjust well enough. So, and that's some of the problem. But you got to really, you know, you got to really adjust pretty quick, as far as, you know, always keep an eye on what your your braking points are and things like that. And maybe just adjust it, you know, adjust that accordingly. And that was a 1:45.83. So, and that's after 30 minutes. Now you can still see I had 29 liters still left in the tank. But like I said, I wanted to simulate the amount of fuel that I had when I was racing the, you know, the 45 minutes. So let's take a look at the timetables. I had, you know, a couple laps that I kind of messed up on a little bit. But for the most part, I mean, you got a lot of 44s and some, you know, a lot of 45s, but a lot more 44s than I had in a race. The race, I think I only had one or two. Well, look, I think it was only maybe one, but you know, here I had lots of 44s in a lot better, you know, better times also. So I think that it's a lot better setup than I had with the, and it was just a few adjustments, and we'll go over that. And here's the setup. We got 25.6 on the left side, 26.7 on the right side for the tires. The toe is a negative 0.02, with the camber at negative 3.7 on the left front and negative 3.6 on the right front. Caster is at 11. And on the rear, the toe is 0.1, with the camber at negative 3.1 on the left rear and negative 3 on the right rear. And the only thing I just adjusted the caster and I adjusted the camber, took a little bit out of it compared to what I had in the race. Electronics are 3, 5, and 3. That's the same. Fuel is the same. It has moderate graining on the front, which it actually had worse on the race. It had severe, I think, or something. So it's better than what it was in the race. Mechanicals has 4 on the anti-roll bar, 54 on the brake bias. Steering ratio I have down to 12, just to kind of slow the car's reaction down a little bit. And the springs on the front are 146,000 with a bump stop rate of 800 and a bump stop range of 1 on the left front and 3 on the right front. And on the rear, the springs are 193,000 with a bump stop rate of 600 and a bump stop range of 10 on the left rear and 20 on the right rear. The anti-roll bar is 3 and the preload on the diff is 50. And basically here, I changed the bump stop rates and ranges a little bit, and the springs in the back I changed, and I even changed the anti-roll bar and the preload on the diff. Where I took one out of the anti-roll bar and one out of the preload on the diff. So just small little adjustments, but I think it helped a lot. The shocks are 7, 6, 10, 11 on the front and 8, 7, 11, 10 on the rear. Aero, I have 56 on the front and 77 ride height on the rear with a 3 splitter on the front and 8 rear wing and a 4 and a 3 in the brake ducts. And the only thing I changed here is I actually raised the ride height just 1 click here from what I had in the race, and try to help it just a little bit as far, especially later in the later part of the stint, helping it to turn, and especially the quick change of directions. So just trying to get a little bit more reaction out of it. And of course, the front aero variation is the 3.0 to the positive. So again, I will leave this in the description. A link to this in the description. And now let's go check out. I'll just show a few laps of the multiplayer. And there's Beppy right there. Black Eye was in here. That's Strawman right there in the AMG. KB was in there. So you got a lot of course you got the Alien up there on pole. You got Sakamoto, he's up there too. So I mean, you have it's really loaded with some really fast guys. I tried to do this race earlier in another one, but I got wrecked. So I didn't even complete the first lap and got wrecked. So of course here I'm just trying to work my way in, just with traffic and things like that. It's just trying to, without getting into another wreck. There's a wreck there. it's really hard when you got, starting in a bad spot, and just qualifying, I messed up, and it just, I mean, I was going for my hot lap and just kept messing it up. So, I mean, I still ran, I think, a 44.8, I think, or something like that. But I mean, these guys are qualifying in the 43s, so I should have been able to run a lower 44, which would have put me up a little higher. But I mean, I did run with that setup a fast of a 144.32. So with lower fuel, all it is lower fuel, no other changes. And that's pretty much the way it was till for most of the way. I've already got past Drummond and Beppe had a wreck, so I got ahead of them. You see my fast lap is a 144.79, so I did have a couple of 44s. But that's where I finished, basically the same. There was a few shuffling. Black Eye didn't finish third, so we'll go to the last lap. Which you can go run his channel, Black Eye's channel, and I mean he's showing the whole race. If you wanted to see the whole race, which he had a more exciting race because he was up, basically mixing it up. So it was a good race, which I saw it. I mean, it was right, for a lot of the race. I mean, I could see all of them right up there, but I mean, it was just I couldn't get up there to them. Also, I don't know if anybody saw it, but congrats to the team. They won Monza last week in real racing, which is awesome. That car there actually won, so it was great to see racing going again. Of course, they didn't have any fans there at Monza, but it was awesome watching the race. They had 42 cars in the field, so it was a really good field. So that's nice, really nice to see. Still sad that you don't see they had one Bentley, but it was he was in the Pro-Am. But it's still sad to see that the factory Bentleys aren't there anymore. So that was kind of, I wish they would have stayed, but still a great field though. And that's the end of the race. Like I said, Black Eye finished third. I finished seventh. That was a 145.89 right there at the end. So again, it's about the same as what I did in the 30-minute stint. And let's see the results. I don't know if it'll show. No, it doesn't show that, but. But anyway, I sure hope you enjoyed the video, and I sure hope you enjoyed that setup. And I sure, if you give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't subscribed to help support the channel, I really would appreciate it. And thank you to all my subscribers out there. And any comments or feedback are always welcome. And I sure hope you come back and visit really soon. Y'all take care. See ya.